So there I was, scrolling through Twitter as I often do, casually admiring my Sandstorm followback notification, when I noticed, ooh, a color tier list. Can't hurt to take a look. I wonder where they put packed up What? Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! This genuinely might be the worst color tier list I've ever seen, and after subjecting you all to such agony, I feel that it's only right that I cleanse your palates with some cold hard facts. That's why today, I'll be making a color tier list of my own. Ready? Let's begin. Now usually, you'd start a tier list like this in F tier, but with this particular list, we have a special exception. So, allow for me to introduce the incredibly innovative tier that I just created. Yeah. Going into this new tier is a singular arrangement of hues that I refuse to call a color scheme due to its ungodly nature, and it's none other than Pact of Poison. This isn't opinion, by the way, this is just fact. Pact of Poison has no redeeming qualities as a color. The green parts are either blinding or vomit colored. The purple is less offensive, but it's also pretty dull looking. I have never seen a skin that this color looks good on. There have been a few passable ones, yes, but nothing that I would purposely choose unless there was a gun to my head. If you like Pact of Poison, please check yourself into the nearest mental institution before someone, most likely you, gets hurt. Okay, that was the only color that genuinely makes me mad. Now we can move on to F tier, where instead of making me mad for possessing the knowledge of their existence, they just make me sad. To start, we have 4 colors that I'm lumping together since I have about the same thoughts on all of them. These colors are blue, yellow, green, and orange. These colors are very basic, which makes sense considering all but one of them comes with each legend automatically. They also look pretty unnatural in legends where their body color is changed by the color scheme, like Taros or Mordex. Speaking of Mordex, queuing into a blue default skin Mordex is about the scariest thing in Brawlhalla. Sure, there's a chance they're an actual new player, but most of the time, it's the alt account of, "This is what 10,000 hours on Scythe looks like." Anyways, these colors aren't good, but they serve their purpose as the basic colors that everyone starts with. That being said, under no circumstances should you ever be using any of these colors. Unless you're T360, you get a pass for your orange Volkov. There will be no further exceptions. Continuing on to more complex colors, we have Willow Leaves. Nothing really pops with this color, thanks to the color palette containing mostly dark and washed out colors. There's a few skins where it can work, usually on nature-themed skins, but just because it works doesn't mean it's good. Honestly, the color is just super boring to look at, so much so that I could see it being used for the sole purpose of trying to get your opponent to fall asleep mid-match. To finish off the F tier, we have Esports V3. This is a very strange combination of colors. The overly bright yellow clashes rather awkwardly with the turquoise it's put along with. It may have fared a little better if the yellow wasn't the main color of the composition, but unfortunately, that's what we are left with. Hey guys, post-recording Tripped here. So, when I recorded this video, the Season 11 Battle Pass hadn't even been announced yet, which means, yes, it did take me literal months to edit this video, a fact that I am not proud of. Anyways, in order to not waste too much of your time, just take a look at one image of this color Ancient Curse. I think you can infer where it's going from there. We are now moving on to the D tier. The colors in this tier are still not that good, but may have a few skins that redeem them. To start, I will once again group a few colors together, those being cyan, purple, and brown. Cyan and purple suffer from the same problem that the default colors of F tier have, which is that they look strange on many different legends whose body color changes with the color scheme. The reason these two are placed above the previous 4 is that they're just cooler colors. Brown, on the other hand, doesn't actually have that problem. It looks natural on legends that I mentioned earlier, like Taros and Mordex. The problem here is that it's literally the color of poop. Considering this fact, I almost put brown in the poop tier along with Pact of Poison, but to put the color of poop in the same tier as Pact of Poison is quite frankly an insult to poop. The next color in this tier is Lovestruck. To be fair to this color, it does do what it's trying to do. I don't think I could have come up with a more Valentine-like color if I tried. Unfortunately, I don't think it works well with most Brawlhalla skins. The exceptions usually come from skins that are cutesy, which are a little sparse in this game. On any other skin, it's too bright and colorful, and doesn't blend well with skins that are trying to go for a look other than cute. Why does bro look like a character from Has-Been Hotel? Now that I think about it, the rest of the 4 colors in this tier, Esports V4, Verdant Bloom, Pink, and Sunset all have this same issue. To be honest, with one exception later in this list, color schemes with a heavy emphasis on pink just don't bode well. I guess trying to look cute in a game where you're ruthlessly attacking your opponent doesn't exactly match. It's like bringing a Nerf gun to a shootout. It might be adorable, but you're still getting cooked. We are now moving on up to the C tier. Colors in this tier, as C tier often implies, are the mid ones. Kicking off this tier will be the 2v2 team colors, Team Red and Team Blue. Oh, and I guess there's Team Yellow too, but nobody cares about that color. Now, this placement may confuse some of you. After all, I put the regular blue in F tier. Well, it really comes down to the fact that we're forced to use these colors when playing tournament 2v2s. When someone picks a color like regular blue or, God forbid, Pact of Poison, they're willingly selecting this garbage. Here though, we have no choice, and I'm okay with that. They're inoffensive colors that make it very obvious who is on what team, which is kind of the whole point of forcing these color schemes to begin with. Now, on to the next... What's that? I've got to rank Team Yellow? Okay, yeah, just lock it away in F tier, this sucks. Good thing it only comes out on the worst comp map in Brawlhalla, Mishima Dojo. Apologies to the one fan of Mishima Dojo, but your tastes in maps suck. Moving on, we have Haunting. It sure lives up to its name. After all, there's nothing more haunting than a ginger. Next up is Heatwave. I was tempted to put this color lower due to the blinding nature of the yellow, but it is on theme to be fair. Plus, I think the orange and splashes of blue are nice touches that bring this color scheme up to this tier. If you don't like this color though, just be thankful that they didn't go with the original design. The next color is Synthwave. As a concept, I like this color a lot, but unfortunately, it doesn't turn out as nice when applied to skins. The same thing goes for the next color, Winter Holiday. The variation in color tone works at a disadvantage here, at least for the skins I tried it with. The last color of this tier, Bifrost, also has an issue with variation, albeit on a completely different scale. Whereas colors like Willow Leaves have no pop to it, Bifrost has way too much pop. There are so many different colors happening on my screen to the point where I'm wondering if this color was inspired by LSD. Despite that, I can see the merit in a color scheme like this, which is why it lands in C tier. We are now entering the B tier, which contains the most colors in this list. All of these colors are solid, but nothing to get too excited about. As usual, I'll start off with the more basic colors, which are gray and white. They're both rather decent colors, other than the fact that white can sometimes be a miniature flashbang. Funnily enough though, white wasn't always this bright. According to the wiki, the original color scheme for white looks like this. This would be adjusted several times to its current design after user feedback. I can only imagine what that user feedback was like.
Is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
Next is Frozen Forest. This color looks how spearmint gum tastes. Hopefully you guys understand how that translates to B tier. Next up is... Oh no. Must not make another ginger joke. Whew, okay, I think I'm good. Anyways, this next color is called Lucky Charms. Oh, fuck! The next color is Starlight. There aren't any colors within this palette that really pop, but it's obvious that was the intention. This is more of a low-key color that isn't meant to stick out like other colors do, such as our next entry, Kira Kira. Honestly, I think Cotton Candy might have been a more fitting title. Well, anything would have been more fitting than the current name. Kira Kira? This is supposed to be a color scheme, not Light Yagami. Next is Esports V1. If you had asked me a while back what my opinion on this color was, I probably would have given it an A tier. But after receiving Universal Esports 1, I've realized that there are quite a few legends that this color doesn't work too well on due to the brighter blue color within the palette. It can look good when used minimally, but there are some legends and skins where it's at a distracting amount. Next up, we have Armageddon. I think the dark red on this color is really good, and covers a hue that we don't often get with these color schemes. The orange color can be good too, though in large amounts it can be more of a detriment. Overall, it's a solid color. The next color is Community Colors V1. This color scheme had a lot going for it with the shade of blue and gold and even some hints of purple. For some reason though, they decided to pair it with this ugly brown color, which often takes up a large percentage of skins. It still looks good, but who knows what it could have been if they picked something other than this brown. Moving on, we have Gala. Ignoring the fact that this color looks like a goth girl putting on her makeup, I like the contrast between the two main colors. They're so polar opposite that it ends up making them mesh better together than many other color schemes that try and do something similar. It's still nothing too overly amazing, but it definitely has drip possibilities. The last color of the B tier is Coat of Lions. On its own, the color is good. Combined with Zol, and you literally get Kratos from the God of War series. Just for that, I will be giving the Coat of Lions a B+. No, that does not mean I'll be adding pluses and minuses to the entire list. If anyone sees this tier list outside of the context of this video and asks why B+ tier is the only one of its kind, you could take the opportunity to share with them the good news of the unofficial God of War Brawlhalla crossover. It's time to move up to the A tier, where the colors work consistently with most skins and can create some fire drip. We start with red, and I doubt this is too surprising when the color red is so prevalent with my channel's theming. That said, it's still just basic red, so I think A tier will suffice for it. Next up is Soulfire. This one used to be an S tier for me, but over time, my interest in it has waned. Not to say it isn't good color though. Next up is Esports V5. I like the originality of this color, as there aren't really any others like it, but at this point, all it does is make me think of Markimu's Mordex. Next up is Community Colors V2, and here it is, the pink color scheme that works. Granted, there are some legends that it looks rather strange on, but man, the way they made the white pop on certain skins just makes it so good. To cap off the A tier, I have what might be a controversial take. Raven's Honor. Whoa, listen. It's a good color. I actually would have put it in S tier when it first came out, but the way that I've seen people glaze Raven's Honor as if the artist invented a brand new color is pretty overdramatic. This might actually be the reason why I've ended up thinking less of Raven's Honor. It's possible I've just gotten super tired of it after how much I used to see it in game. And I do understand why it's so beloved. Many people love their darker color schemes. It's why you'll see so many tier lists with black in the top tier. Like this one. Bam! Seamless transition into S tier, and we've got black. The reason I like black more than Raven's Honor is because I think it does what Raven's Honor is trying to do better. As I said, dark color schemes tend to be quite popular. Maybe Brawlhalla players are all just secretly emo, who knows. But as the so-called mastery color, black serves that role quite well. I'm just not so sure I can call level 25 a mastery when you've got many thousands of games between you and max level. Coming up next, we have both Skyforged and Goldforged. I often find that people will rank these two colors a tier apart, but honestly, I love them equally. They both have skins where they really prove their worth, and others that are better left to the other color. Overall though, they're great colors. Which one do I prefer more? I guess I'd have to say Wait, is that Golden Darth Vader? Next up, we have Darkheart. For those of you who are waiting to hear my favorite Battle Pass color, here it is. I've really grown to love this color. Just like the Community Colors V2, Darkheart has a nice way of making the white stand out around the magenta. That's right, it's magenta, not pink. I'll try to pretend that Minecraft isn't the only reason I know that. Next is Home Team, a surprising gem in what is usually a rather disappointing seasonal event. What can I say? I guess I just wouldn't like having Dr. Disrespect as a professor. Or maybe I would, considering I'm no longer his type. Anyways, I have a lot of love for the Home Team color. The dark color highlighted by a dark red and bright yellow is an amazing combination. Our final color of S tier is Esports V2. I absolutely love this color. It uses by far the coolest shade of red, and when combined with its secondary colors, it becomes a fantastic color scheme. I love this color so much that it makes my situation all the more tragic. See, I was unable to get the Universal Unlock during the anniversary event. Waiting until the last minute to grind out a win on each legend is a decision that will haunt me for decades to come. Would this be the tragic fate I would endure? Never being able to use my favorite color scheme on every legend, current and future. No, I couldn't resign to such a fate. There's still one more color to list. One that I do have the universal unlock for. The color to surpass them all! Huh? Get out of here, default. You're not even a color scheme to me. What I was really trying to lead to is, of course, Charged OG. This is, without a doubt, my favorite color scheme in Brawlhalla. It became that way the moment I saw it, though sadly the event had long ended by that point. So for years, I was unable to use my favorite color scheme, and it seemed as though it would forever stay that way. After all, it's not like BMG would give the code selling community the bird by making all existing and future codes expire after a month of being created and essentially uprooting their entire business overnight. Oh. It was during this time that I was able to buy a Universal Charged OG code for relatively cheap before it went away forever. Could they return it with an event one day, like Esports V1 or V2? Sure, but the money I spent was well worth it. I've been using this color scheme with my Sentinel ever since, and don't tell me this isn't some of the cleanest drip you've ever seen. This will likely always be my number one color scheme, as I doubt they'll ever be able to top it, especially with some of the stuff they put out recently. And that's my color tier list. Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you think of my ranking, as well as what your favorite or least favorite color is. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Oh yeah, announcement. I'm an SIB. That's about it.